What's good, people? Another glorious day. It's been a minute since we been live and doing our thing. Welcome to Spotlight Podcast. Today I got a very special guest, a very special gentleman. Been around the world, been around events and times and things that we didn't get a chance to see because at that time social media wasn't around. This brother here is not only an activist, he is an entrepreneur. He was around the death row days. He was doing security. He's been around different video shoots. He's been around different entertainers, different people. This brother here has got a lot of nuggets and knowledge to give to people for y'all to understand about the community and as well as how real people can be. He's actually went heads up with Charleston White. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce brother Ayatollah Marv. About to add him in and get him in and going.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my brother?
How are you?
Welcome to the coffee table.
Sir?
At the coffee table,
for real. Spot.
Yeah. We speak freely and say what we want to say, how we want to say it. It's no filter. Introduce the world to you, my man, coming all the way from Compton, California. For all those who don't know what Compton is, that's Compton for y'all who can't comprehend. Tell them about where you from, my brother.
Out of Compton, like you said, Compton, California. We ain't set tripping, we set trends. We're the first black community, the first black independent city west of the Mississippi's in 1970. We were the first city on the West Coast to have a black city council, black mayor, black police chief, black fire chief. 10 square miles of Bubbling Hill. I'm from Nightmare on Elm Street. We ran Freddy Krueger out of here. So this is what we do.
Preach to him, let him know what time it is, man. What you got going on right now? Seem like you're riding, moving around.
Man, we moving. We got some stuff to do. I was trying to catch it, but time constraint, and we got to make a move out here in the valley. So with don't nothing stop it. It's continuous out here in Babylon.
Definitely. You've been around for a while. You've seen things adjust. You've seen things change. Let the world know when you was growing up how Compton was compared to now.
Well, I mean, when I grew up in Compton, Compton was the city of no smog. We had one of a suburban community. I grew up, thought I was Beaver Cleaver. I didn't grow up, in the projects. I've been in the same house, Nightmare on Elm Street, all of my life. The first time I ever spent the night away from home was in juvenile hall. So I didn't come up under this construction. I never had no shoes. I was run over. All of it, we had single family homes, and it was a community. So we had our opposition with the Minutemen and the Spook Hunters, some white boys that thought they ran Compton, California until my generation came. And my generation of the 60s had to send them out, and they had white flight in 1969, and we took over the community. We didn't keep it long, but we took it.
I can dig that. When the riots happened, how was everything when the riots happened down in was it LA or was it South Central where the riots happened at?
I've been here since the Watts riot, the original riot, right? Okay. So 1965, the Watts riot. It was a rebellion. Matter of fact, it was a riot because whenever you have something and there's no change, there is no resistance, and things go on complacent. We're the only race in the world that causes havoc in our own neighborhoods and what we call the opposition, and we're fighting for our rights, and we burn down our stores, our businesses in our community, and a month later we got to have white folks to replace it for us.
Facts.
So we don't have a riot against white America and go to Beverly Hills. We don't have a riot in California and go to Woodland Hills. We do it right in South Central and tear it up, and you have to be begging for food stamps the next month.
Double-edged sword all day. It's like hustling backwards in so many words.
Hustling backwards, and we've been doing that. We're on We're on a tragic train for just what you said, hustling backwards.
For people that don't know, when did Pyru get started down in that area, and what was it really intended for?
Well, the Pyru Street Boys were always famous from the 60s. Mickey Bowen, Clarence Grandy, um, Lonnie Hall, and Victor Murphy. They were bank robbers. And they used to rob banks, and we were down one day in 1963 playing football with them. And I always asked Terry, man, what your brother do? He had a brand new Cadillac, had brand new suits. Mickey Blue was the man. And the FBI, as we later found out, came up and they went to the Bowen's house and they asked about Mickey and him, and they came back. So they showed us these 4 pictures and asked us if we knew where they were. We're like, no, we don't know who they are. They said, well, those are the Pyru Boys. So that's how the name started. They were bank robbers. The Bowens family was all bank robbers. Mickey Blue, Terry Bowen, Dennis Bowen, Harold Bowen, all of them dudes. Terry Bowen hit an armored truck in 1968, him and Jerry Nelson, and they got $180,000, which was astronomical at that time, you know. So that was the Pyru Boys. So when Putnam started Pyru, one of the homies got killed named Billy Flowers, and a guy named Jody Crawford killed him out of Watts. And it was a situation at the funeral home, and Miss Flowers asked Puddin and Ralph and Tam them to go down to the funeral home. And when the dudes came across the street, they started shooting, and they asked them, "Who are y'all?" And said, "We the Pyru Boys." So it didn't start out dealing with Crips. It was dealing with a situation with the community of Watts, where the Brims, they started fighting with Crips, with Tookie and Raymond Washington them. So they was under a whole different dynamic. But when they ended up going to juvenile hall, they said Pyrus, and they started calling them roosters. So a rooster was red, and the Bloods were red. So it was an alliance, and it's been an alliance ever since.
Okay. So when did bounty hunters come in and Peace Stone and everything?
Well, I'm from Compton, 10 square miles, right? So everything, I don't talk about other people's sets and what they did. Let them tell you about when they started.
Okay. See, I assumed it was all in one block.
No. Compton is 10 square miles. We have our own. That's why people say, well, Pyrus are Bloods, right? Okay. If you're not a Pyru, if you're not a Blood, you ain't a Pyru. Well, there's a Pyru set in every community in California. We even got Pyrus in the Philippines, right? We don't have one Blood set in Compton. All Pyrus and Crips. So if Blood started Pyrus, why come it ain't a Blood set in Compton?
Facts. True indeed. True indeed. See, a lot of people don't know it's a difference, and you will run into people who will argue with you that Pyru is Blood, Pyru is not Blood. And I like the fact that you just put it out there. This is what it is. I'm not gonna argue with you. Deal with it. Keep moving.
That's what it is. You know, you have in Inglewood, the Inglewood family, their first and second generations of their gang. They started 72, 73, 74. Pyru's been Pyru's since I started with the Treetops. My neighborhood was called Treetops. We started in 1959. So that was way before you even a gang member of this dispensation was born.
How did you feel when it started becoming mainstream? Because if I'm correct, Quick did the Red Tape. That came out first in y'all area, but once we got hit to it, it was Born and Raised in Compton. How did you feel when it started becoming mainstream to being in people's face?
You know, every time you start something as blacks, white America exploits it for their benefit, and they benefit off of it monetarily, and you get nothing out of it. So how I felt, I didn't feel anything enlightening that They started crash. They started gang squads. Not right now. The California State Prison, they get $15 billion a year to maintain gang members.
Mm-hmm. Very
So
true.
out of that, we don't get no cash from that, huh?
At all, not a dime.
So that's a bad investment.
Facts. 0 plus 0 is 0 all day and day. It will never change. When Colors came out, you felt that was like, how did you feel? Was it watered down to you? It was like, oh wow, we on the main, we on the big screen now. Even though they made it seem, they tried to make the story more about crash and about gang life at the same time. That's their version of it.
Yeah, a guy just got at me. I think it was North Carolina, asking me about how do I feel about us starting gangs in California, and what do I got to do with it? Because you guys wouldn't have knew nothing about us if it hadn't been for Colors and Boys in the Hood. I didn't put that out.
Facts,
So
100%.
the man that gave you that misinformation is still profiting off of you. You gonna hold me accountable for it?
Nah, no way. That's not even fair. That's pointing the finger. That's trying to put the weight on one person. That's impossible. There's no way.
But you know, when it comes to us, we always talk about. A lady told me, we was talking, and she was saying, "Well, blacks kill blacks. When are we going to accept accountability?" Right? So you look at accountability. Have white folks ever had accountability for 600 years of slavery? Physical slavery, shadow slavery, now mental slavery. Have they been accountable for that?
Not at all. Not at all. They still at it.
So you look at 50 years of gang banging, 60, 70 years. It's more white folks kill white folks than blacks killing blacks, huh?
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You know,
I mean, because go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I just we're always so critical on each other, but we never hold anybody else accountable for putting us in this position. Now I hold us accountable for staying in that position because we'll fight for everything but us. You'll go across the water and fight the Irans, the Iranians. You'll fight for America and come back and they won't even give you a house. But if I say something to you, you'll kill me, huh?
Ass backwards. Never failed. I mean, because slavery's still going on now.
It's a bigger form of slavery. We're bigger slaves now than the slaves were in the 40s, bro. We don't even know we think we're the enemy.
One of my viewers said, "Amen." She said, "Marv, conversation is very knowledgeable." Yes, it is. That's why I got him on here, because I knew it would blow y'all mind. I had a conversation with you on the phone, and like I said, I really didn't want to get off, but I understood you had a lot to do. The way the world is now, it's just about $1. It's all about money. Like, people let you talk down on them or talk down on their friend or act funny to you as long as they're getting $1. As long as they can pay their bills, as long as they can survive to the next day. The crabs in the barrel theory is 100% still going on as we speak.
Of course. I mean, that's, in my day when I was coming up, loyalties was the things that you do deeds and actions. Now your loyalties is how much money a guy got. I'll turn my back on my friend because this other coon got more money. You feel what I'm saying? A dude just told me this morning, he said, "Well, Marv, like I told him, I can't tell nobody how to make their money." And I said, "But yes, you can. Money ain't everything. Loyalties is something way more sacred to me than money." And he said, "Well, man, I didn't look at it like that. But you're right,
Yeah, because, I mean, people think when you say you're from the hood, the ghetto, whatever term you want to use, everybody either selling dope, robbing, stealing, but that's not true. You have hardworking, middle-class people, but they may be living check to check, but they still getting up every morning, 9 to 5, punching their clock, but that's not what's being televised or being talked about."
Yeah, but are you the guy that's 9 to 5 punching the clock? He's still a slave to his own reality. You dig what I'm saying? We're everybody. All these Negroes are talking about Project 2025. I think Project 2025 is going to be the best thing happen to the Negro since Mother Sir. You dig what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's either swim or sink. We've
That's it.
been on the nipple for white America for 150 years, and he started off with affirmative action, and he made it possible for Negroes to get degrees and to do something for themselves, and they got PhDs and doctorate degrees, and they still a slave for the white man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you got foreigners coming in, getting the same degrees using affirmative action, and they're going back to their countries, making their countries better. When a Negro get a degree, he'd move out the hood and move close to white folks as he can get.
And I never understood that because if you gotta, I mean, I understand, okay, if you grow up in a neighborhood that's poverty is going down and then you decide to move, I never understood why move closer that way instead of moving closer, I ain't say closer to your area, I'm gonna say more within a certain amount of miles. Like, I understand you want to get your family out, but that don't mean change who you are. Stay who you are. Don't change who you are.
Yeah, well, we still under the modern technology. It's still the old antics. White folks' water is colder, their grass is greener. Oh, I'm moving where it's nice. I just got my paycheck. I'm moving over here where it's quiet. But you're in a quiet society that don't nobody like you. Every time we
Mm-hmm.
move around somebody else, we change our identity. We don't be black no more. We become Negro and colonized. And then we introduce our children to white people and they catch rapes, catch all kind of other cases they wouldn't catch if they was around. Now your child was and when he was in the neighborhood, he was a good boy. But when he moved to Rancho Cucamonga and Woodland Hills, he became the OG Piru, right?
Right. It's again, that's watching TV. I'm gonna say the idiot box because some
Yes,
people
sir.
don't know how to watch TV and know know the difference between sugar shit and entertainment. Because at one point when rap came out, it was entertainment. You had NWA speaking on Compton. You had this person speaking on South Central. This person speaking on New York, the Bronx, Harlem, and all that. And then all of a sudden, it changed to, damn, I'm gonna do like they do. And now it's just spread. It's spread across the world, out of control. And
Yes, sir.
I remember, if you remember a special back in the day called Banging in Little Rock. Do you remember that?
What is that?
Do you remember the HBO special Banging in Little Rock?
No.
It came on HBO and it opened the doors to Bloods, Crips, and it was just like nothing we've ever seen. It was like, whoa. So that's going on. California has it. We didn't know it went further than California. Now it's in Arkansas. You look up, it's in Texas, it's in New York, New Orleans, New York, the Midwest, it's everywhere.
Well, DJ Quick said it best. He went to Sun, and he's just like Compton. Everybody want to be just like Compton. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's media influence. When you get to Compton, California, and you look around, ain't no Bloods just hanging out on the corners. Hey, when you look at Piru Street, they're all single family homes. We don't have any projects in Compton.
Really? Wow. See, everybody don't know that because a lot of people never been to California or afraid to go to Compton. So they see what they got on TV. Because like I said, every time I came down to California, people who was with me like, nah, we're not going there. We're going to stay right here in Hollywood on the Walk of Fame, and we're not going too far down, and et cetera, because that's what they mind programmed them to think. As soon as we cross that border, they hanging out on the corners. They yank you out the cars. People seeing menace to society, and it's like, I'm not going to Fat Burger. I'm not going to Master Burger. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. This is safe. But in reality, no place is safe because anything can happen at any time.
Right. So, that's the illusion that white America give you. Oh, it's the ghetto, it's bad, don't go there. And people come there. Compton is the boringest city in California. Nothing to do.
Really? When we was talking, you was saying it's no black restaurants down there, or nothing like that.
We have Miss Alma's place. I mean, when I grew up, it was all black business. I tell you, we're the first black-run city west of the Mississippi's. After the bicentennial and the crack era came, and all the business people start moving out, doing better, and they lost all the businesses to Mexicans. Now every street you go down is a Javier or a Gonzalez. We don't have any. We didn't uphold anything. We gave it all away. If we lose Compton, it's like losing the Alamo. That's the last black city in California.
Good reference. Excuse me. Good reference. Definitely good reference. What you think about the election going on now for presidency? What's your opinion for that?
One thing about I can tell you, whoever becomes the president doesn't have any reflection on Black America. We already through. Trump, see, he don't know us. He don't owe us anything because he tried and we didn't respond. But one thing about Trump, he's a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. He's a devil that you know. You know good and well, if he become president, he's not just getting that black. He's the first president in American history not to just attack poor, that he attacked white America. That's why they mad at him. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Donald Trump is a 1%er. He don't care. Everything other than a 1%er is a Negro to him. Mm-hmm. He's a businessman.
That's it. That's all he ever been. But what's funny is African Americans embraced him at one point. You know, hey, we want to be like Trump. He was in all the videos. He had games out. He had liquor. He had not video games, but board games and hotels and casinos. And then as soon as y'all put him in office, he showed his real colors. He showed them, and he don't bar none. Even though he say some of the dumbest shit, but he not gonna hide who he is. He not gonna hide.
One thing about it, a guy told me today, well, a couple of days ago, he's talking about Trump, and he told me that Trump had over 100 bankruptcies, and he's had this many lawsuits, right? Mm-hmm. But the bottom line, he's still rich. You ain't never had a lawsuit, and you broke.
That man got so much money, it don't make no sense. And
you think what I'm saying? So now you deal with this broad Kamala Harris. Now her skin complexion, she doesn't say that she's black. She's an Asian. Her daddy's Jamaican. He's not a Negro. Right. Every morning she wakes up with a white man. So if she wake up with a white man, what do you think she think about black men? So you got a devil you don't know. If she become president, every black female gonna go back to picking cotton.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Every black female. We're trying to do this and we're trying to do. Oh, that Sapphire, that Jamaican, Indian, whoever she is, she's gonna do the bidding for white America 100%. And you think that Trump did more for blacks in their administration? Because anytime a Republican is in there, you got action to steal. I'm a thief, and I get money with Republicans.
Mm-hmm. That's cold. That's cold. When people watch this, I hope they can swallow it, because that's a nice ass big pill right there, boy. Nice big pill. What you got going on in the community?
So that's my whole point of this is both of them the devil. But at least you know what kind of devil Trump is. You don't know. You ain't seen Harris's horns yet. And by the time you see him, it'll be way too late for you, black man.
Facts. I tell anybody that. I say when you're dealing with business or anything in life, even entertainment, you gotta choose a devil. Choose the lesser blow that's gonna hurt, because it's gonna hurt in the end. There's no way around it. Choose the lesser blow. You gotta choose a devil. But people be like, oh man, you tripping. No, I'm not. It's right in your face. Read the book. Think 10 steps ahead, not 10 inches in front of your face. What you got going on in the community?
Oh, well, you know, we're like I said, we're in such a critical position right now that if we lose Compton, I say it's like losing the Alamo. So since Kendrick had made the cry out that they ain't like us, it's been put a community cohesiveness back into the structure of Compton. So last weekend we had a Pyru walk, and all of the Pyrus that had differences. Well, the main is Treetops and Fruit Town got together. They hadn't been together in years, and decades. And they got together. YG called it out. Game came and showed up. Uh, uh, a gang of Pyru neighborhoods, waterfronts, Pacoima Pyrus, 4, 5, 6, 30 Pyrus, all of the and blood sets came out to encourage, a cohesiveness back to making it Pyru love. So it's working. So we're doing uh, some conferences with Reverend Rayford Owens with the Pyrus and Crips in Compton every month to get an organization to build a structure to become a election base so we can start dictating who our mayors and our city council will be.
That's what's up. That's good shit. That's definitely what's up. Definitely. Like even with Power and Love, a lot of people don't understand that. They just know the song that came out back in the 90s. They don't even know who actually made it. They just know, okay, it was Peace Banging on Wax. I love that song, but they don't know the whole I want to say meaning behind it, because it's always more to if you listen
Well,
to
see
music.
that why they called it Pyru Love. When Crips started, they came into communities and beat up people, took leather coats, and did this and that. Pyrus came in partying and embracing people with love. They didn't come over to mesmerize or terrorize your community. They came in to embrace it, and people start liking the way that the Pyrus was getting down. Everybody was getting money. They was doing different things. It was a big transition from what it is today. And Pyru love just started spreading. Now we killing each other. It's like it's crazy.
When did it get to the point where blood sets start fighting blood on blood? Because that never, if I'm correct, that was not allowed. That's genocide.
That was, but that's when you start getting all of these people from outside of your community coming in that don't have a vested interest in Pyru. They're saying, so you have all of these agents, and they come in and they say this and they say that and they cause a havoc and go back to their community. They go back to Victorville. They go back to Lancaster. They're not born and raised in Compton.
Amen.
Just like you have somebody like 60, 70 miles away from Compton on Pyru, like they run Pyru. They don't even go down Rosecrans. If they don't come to Compton, I got too much money. Well, you should have known that before you start running your mouth. So we got all these perpetrators that not from our hood, that not that you have to be from Compton to be a Pyru, but to put it on something, you have to know what the terrain is.
Right. Speaking of that particular person, I recently seen an interview this past week where he said, well, Game didn't let us know he was going. If I would have known, I would have went to, I would have been there. I didn't have no problem going, etc., etc.
Bullshit ain't nothing but chewed up grass. So every Pyru knew about it. So if you didn't know about it, you wasn't a Pyru, huh?
Mm, 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 mm. It's interesting.
So how did Game get there and you didn't know about it?
Facts. True indeed. True indeed.
Game rolled up. He didn't roll up with no security. He came up in his rolls. Anybody had something to say, alien, he was there ready for the business. But didn't nobody, everybody embraced him. Everybody, Yosemite Sam could have come and checked. It may not have been no problem for him, but did he show up?
Wow. It's like people are paying to be blood or Pyru, to be Crip, be 60s. It's like people are paying to be involved now, and then they taking it and just running with it like they've been 20, 30 years.
You say people are paying?
Paying.
Is that right? This is it, this ain't the Boy Scouts. I didn't know we even took tuition.
Hey man, you know nothing free in the world nowadays. It's just America. Everything costs. What's free? Water costs. In a minute we're gonna be paying. Matter of fact, when you go to Vegas, you can stop at a kiosk and pay for air. You can sit there because you're tired because you've been gambling. It's too hot. What's free nowadays?
Ain't nothing free, but you know, it's certain rules and elements. I don't care if you pay $100,000, don't make you a nigga, huh?
Facts. One of my listeners said somebody needs to hear him. Listening, they hear him very well. They just not listening. That's the problem. They just not listening.
Yeah.
What was I about to say? I seen you go against Charleston White, man. How did y'all neck and neck going at it, and it was like he was listening, but he was determined to get his point across, which was what? How did that end up happening?
I
How
mean,
you feel about that?
Charlie is he's a shock jock. He'll say anything, you know. Oh man, well he makes some sense. Well, the trash can get a steak every now and then, right? So he was on some stuff that you know he says, but ain't none of his thing, ain't nothing he say is factual. On some things that he say, and it's living proof is common sense. But he's attractive to the closet queers that never wanted, always wanted to say some negative shit, but they didn't have nerve enough to say it. So now he says it for them.
That's if I'm correct. That's kind of like a little. That's cooning. That's like a Sambo type shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, so I mean, that's how life is. It's very few leaders. Everybody else is a follower. So it's some things that people want to say. That's just like before the gang truce, right? If you was in our neighborhood, everybody wore red or wore
Right.
black. But when the gang truce came, it was so many dudes was so happy they could put on blue. And so many Crips was happy to put on red. Well, nigga, if that's how you felt, I wear what I wanted to wear all my life.
I mean,
But
if
now you got these fans, they wear red, they wear these hats and and they can't stand the funk.
it's a real going around, been going around for a couple years. What hats to wear in California? Don't wear this letter. Don't wear this color. I was seeing something where they was like, if you go to Compton swap meet, don't wear these colors, you will be pressed. Where anything but these colors you find, any of this, you will be pressed to go to Compton swap meet.
Well, we don't even have a Compton swap meet anymore. But if you young and go up in Compton swap meet, I don't care if you have a dress on, you was gonna get pressed.
You talking about back then or now?
We don't have a Compton swap meet now. So the only swap meet they have is a Slauson. Compton swap meet is Walmart now. So we ain't had a Compton swap meet in a decade or so. But at the time, in the element in the 80s and the 90s, that was the snake pit. Any youngster come up in there, he's going to get pressed. I don't care if he got his mama with him, he going to get pressed. Where you from, blood? Where you from, cuz? It's going down. That was the war zone.
Okay. So that wasn't no neutral ground in so many words.
Yeah. No, that area was a risk going up anyway. It's dudes at that time that was supposed to have been hardcore gang members. They would send their girlfriends to go get a T-shirt at the Compton swap meet because they didn't want that pressure.
Hey. See, again, we like I said, Midwest, South. We just know what we at that time it was what's on TV. Now it's what's on the internet, what's on your computer. So a lot of stuff people are catching up on, but they don't know it. What people are talking about may be past tense. They thinking it's right now. Well, it's like right now, like you said, it's gone, but we don't know that.
Yeah, well, there ain't no Compton swap meet anymore, bro.
Okay. You said you did security for Gridlock, for the movie Gridlock. Was it for Death Row or was it for something else?
We were working for Death Row with NOI Security with the Nation of Islam.
Okay. What was it like on the set of that and doing security for that? What was that like for you?
Oh, man, you know, it was I worked at with Queen Latifah. Did a personal for Jada and Set It Off. I did Eraser with Vanessa Williams. I did Rosewood. So Gridlock. I mean, Pac was a real quiet. I mean, he's not the outgoing extrovert that you think he is, but he was a reader, kicked back, you know, did a lot of stuff. He was an activist because I was in prison with his godfather with Geronimo Pratt. I was in San Quentin with Geronimo, you know,
Okay.
and the Romaine Fitzgerald, the last of the Black Panthers. So he come from a lineage of revolutionaries, you know.
That's definitely good to hear and know, because a lot of people, again, they don't know that. They looking at the wildness of it, the rapper and everything. They don't know the behind the scenes and things like that.
Yeah, he was a good dude. I mean, and you know, and he was an advocate of fuck the police. He didn't want to deal with no police whatsoever. That wasn't even his get out, you know. So when we left the detail, uh, you know, he was like, okay. Then I went over with Mike Tyson, and I was in Las Vegas when he got killed.
Mm. You think you would? You think he'd still be alive if he wouldn't have got into the politics, the gang politics?
It wasn't gang politics. It was a overthrow of death row. You know, it wasn't actually the gang. You know, that's what they'll have you to believe. You dig what I'm saying? So
Okay, you smiling, so you can go ahead and spit it out.
ain't no sense in me spitting. I may hit somebody, but just yeah, what it had. It was politics, but it wasn't gang politics, bro.
That's what's up. Entrepreneur. What are your businesses that you got out now that you're working on? What you got that you're working on right now?
Man, I'm with the Black Unicorn Factory. With the Black Unicorn Factory, it's a private Black IPO. My company is Potts Grove Farms. I have a virtual cannabis business, and called jobs, and was a private startup to get Black people in the mainstream. And when he made this law, the Jobs Act, he said, go tell my people. And it was doing private startups. So with my business, I have a virtual cannabis business. Last year, the cannabis company made $176 billion. By 2026, it's estimated that they'll make $960 billion. If you go to my website, pottsgrovefarms.com, POTTSGROVE, grove.com, and subscribe to my channel, you'll get a stock in the Black Unicorn Factory, and it'll give you $150 worth of stock in my company. And if you follow me for 1 year, you'll make $180,000 worth of stock in my company without having to put in a dime.
That's not bad. Can't beat that. Can't beat that at all.
Huh?
Yeah, that's
Say
not
what?
bad. You can't beat that at all.
At all. But you know, it's hard as hell to have Negroes to get something for free. They say, what's the catch? If you follow me a year and you don't get nothing, you didn't put nothing in.
Boom. And there it
But
is.
the cannabis business is the biggest growing industry it is in America, and it will be continuing to grow in the next 15 years.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. It's popping up. It's very, very beyond lucrative right now. I'm gonna say beyond lucrative. It's
If
popping
you
up
look at the only reason it's not legalized right now in the southern states, Philip Morris, Salem cigarette, if you go to North Carolina and South Carolina, you'll see that the tobacco companies are no longer planting tobacco. They got cannabis bins, right?
Okay.
So until they can get a foothold in the next 24 months to 3 years, you'll be able to buy cannabis in the 7-Eleven in a pack like cigarettes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Do you think it's just for your benefit that white America banned menthol cigarettes?
No, everything has a reason behind it.
Menthol cigarettes was a it got you an urge. So now the next thing you gonna buy when you can't buy menthol is buy weed, huh?
Facts. 100% facts. Never thought of it like that.
You better think about it. White America think about it. While we having holidays, they thinking of keeping you in a hole.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hidden agendas and underlining in any type of business and things in that nature. It's never just simple straight business. There's no such thing as straight business. Is straight. Everything is curved now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's so they're in the business of keeping you without a business. So with the Black Unicorn Factory, we have private IPOs, and it's like I said, President Barack Obama said he was tired of the 1%er having all the wealth and the 99%ers having none of it, and he was time to close the wealth gap. And this is the first time you heard about the Jobs Act, and it's been since 2013. So when Mark Zuckerberg became a $1 billion company, it wasn't because he had $1 billion people. I mean, $1 billion. He had 1 billion people. Once I get 1 million people, once I get 1 million subscribers on my channel, I become a private IPO stock. And your stock, that $180,000 stock that you get within that year, turns into $1,800,000, closing the wealth gap.
True. Very true. Very true. A lot of people never thought about that part.
White America is determined to keeping us from closing the wealth gap.
Yeah. Anything that I'm gonna say, anything a race does, white America definitely has to get a piece of it. They have to get a piece. They are not going to not find a way to try to get a piece of it, or they're gonna just destroy it. One of the two. Either it's like give a piece, or we just go take it or destroy it. You figure out. Pick your poison.
That's right.
How long you been part of the nation of Islam?
Since 1964.
What has changed in the nation from then and now? What's the difference?
Well, just like everything else, it didn't become watered down. You know, when I got into the Nation of Islam, it had premier respect, black, white, or others. Now it's become we don't believe the way they believed in the first resurrection. My heart and my soul are all for Allah. My prayer and my sacrifice.
A lot of people still don't understand that being a Muslim, it's not a color. You have white Muslim, you have different race Muslim. They still that don't have nothing to do, because that's the first thing we do is try to say what the color is. I give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about a white Muslim. You dig what I'm saying? Right.
In the wilderness of North America, here in Babylon, we've been catching hell ever since we've been here. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that the white man is the devil. And he's been practicing that ever since. So them Arabs that come over here, well, if they got so much, they got more killing with Arabs and them Muslim nations in their own country than we got here in America. So why are they running to us? Making Orthodox Islam, trying to change the way we talk and the way we doing. We don't need to celebrate them. They need to celebrate us.
True. That's deep. That's deep. Have you ever?
So that's the first thing we say. Well, it's all colors. I don't care. I'm unapologetically black, bro. I don't care what a Mexican do. I don't care what a Chinaman do. They got China. They got Mexico. They got Arabia. They got a country. Where is Negro land?
Man. And we're gonna put a pin on that one because it's nowhere to be found.
Thank you.
Nowhere to be found. Have you ever had the opportunity to actually meet Elijah Muhammad?
No, sir.
Okay.
I was in prison when he passed.
Okay. You ever heard the I'm gonna say the rumor mill that, let me rephrase my question. When Brother Malcolm was alive and he was coming at the nation, the rumor mill was they the ones that took him out.
Well, okay. The rumor mill. So we talk. So let's talk about Malcolm. If
Okay.
you're in the army, right, and you're given an order, and you don't follow that order, you can be executed for treason, huh?
Correct.
That's a rule in the army, right? So now, what Malcolm did, Malcolm was ordered to be silent during the death of John Kennedy. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he was renowned by blacks and whites, and we don't want to speak on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Malcolm made a statement that the chickens have come home to roost.
I remember. I seen that, yes.
So he violated an order that he was given, and he was one of the top commanders. So he was silenced. He was set down. Out of his disappointment and the sycophants that came in his ear, he separated himself. He wanted to get back with the nation, but he couldn't with his pride. You dig what I'm saying? But now he's starting out. If I tell you Malik El-Haj Shabazz, you know who that is?
No.
That's Malcolm X. When he left the Nation of Islam, his name was Malik El-Haj Shabazz. When I say that, it don't mean nothing to you, huh? But when I say Malcolm X, it always leads to the Nation of Islam, huh?
True.
So his name, when he died, it was Malik El-Haj Shabazz.
Okay.
And he said when he started his national movement, he said, I was able to say some things I couldn't say in the Nation of Islam. Like I say, you never heard the term the ballot or the bullet when he was in the Nation of Islam, huh? You never heard the term dare to struggle, dare to win, and when he was in the Nation of Islam. He became a threat to white America. He didn't become a threat to the Nation of Islam. You can look around any state you look around in, you don't have any edifice of the Malcolm X Foundation, right?
Right.
But the Nation of Islam is still standing. So if Malcolm made that much of an impact, how come they still don't have a Malcolm X Foundation?
Never thought about it.
Well, you need to think about it. You listen to these Peckerwoods tell y'all who killed. It didn't take nothing from the Nation of Islam when Malcolm died. Minister Farrakhan is doing wonders. Every Negro in the wilderness of North America should be in the Nation of Islam, whether you like it or not. It's the only independent black organization in the world. True. It's like Compton. They're not like us.
Very true, 100%. Elijah Muhammad definitely has done, man, the list goes on and on and on. Definitely. His teaching is deep. But, you get to watching documentaries and you get to hearing opinions and then you get to making your own and speculating, and here we have it.
The Negroes that have the opinions and ask them what have they done. None of them have no edifices, nothing. They get on these podcasts, they get on shows. Dick Gregory told you every conspiracy it happened, but he never told you a solution to the black problem. Huh?
Facts, 100%. True indeed.
He can tell you all the problems, but he cannot tell him one solution. Umar Johnson can tell you all the problems of white America, but he in the last 30 years, he ain't built that school he was supposed to build in 1980. Cornell Hill, all of these hypocrites, they talk, and as long as he's a professor at Princeton, what has you done for Black America?
Facts. 100%. And that's
gang
true.
banging is in with me, bro. Just like the Democrats and the Republicans, before they were Democrats and Republicans, they were the Whig Party and the Federalists. And they got mad at England one day and told England, fuck them. They wasn't buying no more tea, and a thing called the Boston Tea Party. And they declared their independence, and the Whig and the Federalists became the Democrat, the Dixiecrats, and the Republicans. So if we keep on pushing, we'll have our own independent politicians with Bloods, Pyrus, and Crips. All we got to do is keep politicking.
Facts. That's it. Conversation rule the nation. 100%. All you got to do is know what you're talking about and stand on it.
That's right.
What's your what next podcast you gonna be on, or what's your schedule as far as your speaking? What else you got going on?
Man, I deal with boss talk. Nobody want to hear nothing I gotta say, bro. You know what
I'm listening, bro. I'm hearing you. I'm listening, bro. Keep talking.
They asshole nigga, you old power. Oh, you an old gang member? Well, you know they say old men for counsel, young men for war. Somebody gotta say it, you know. So I'm gonna say it until the last breath. I'm in it to win it. So me and boss talk, me and E, he has me down, and I appreciate you giving me a platform. So man, I just try to put it out as much as I can.
How you end up meeting Boss Talk? They just reached out to you, or somebody connected y'all?
No, that's how we started with. Charleston White had said something about Buncheral out of Compton, and talking about some Crips, and him and Mob James got into a situation, and he told Mob James, fuck your brother Buncheral. And I didn't know who Charleston White was. And everybody in California, man, this nigga here talking about, so now you talking about Compton, I don't know you. So I reached out to Melvin Farmer from 8 Trey Gangster, asked him who this boy Charleston White was. He told me who he was. So we flew out to Dallas, Texas with Boss Talk. And that's what you see the little incident happened. And that started it off with, because I just wanted to know, nigga, how you going to talk about Buncheral and you never been to Compton? I ain't got a dog in the fight in LA. Whatever y'all do in LA, that's LA business. When you talk about that 10 square miles, now it's my business.
Facts. And I mean, I think it's disrespectful to talk about the dead in a disrespectful way, because one, they're not here to defend themselves. Two, what's the game? What is the point of that? That's just,
I mean, I don't care what you say about the dead, but stand on it.
100%.
You get dudes on the dead homies. Well, they already dead. Who you putting it on? So that you can always tell a Negro when he lying on the hood and on the dead homies. On the hood, you don't own a house on the hood. You ain't gonna jump in the grave with the dead homies. So what is all that theatrics for?
Keyword, theatrics. Very true. Very true. It's entertaining. It brings in numbers. It brings in viewers, if that makes sense.
I guess, you know.
Right.
All views ain't good views.
Neither is, I'm saying with money. All money ain't good money. Definitely, it's always a yin and a yang. Definitely, bro. I definitely had a great time conversing with you, bro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
I mean, anytime, you welcome anytime. Anything you got to promote, or you want to just talk in general, you got my direct line, or you want to get on the air, we can get on the air, bro. I love the conversation, man.
For sure. Jay, y'all chime in to PottsGroveFarms.com. PottsGroveFarms.com and subscribe, and you will get, first time in your life you'll ever have a certificate of stock in your life. Get money in your life.
What's your IG and everything, so people can start tuning in to you?
Ayatollah Marv 1. AYATOLLAHMARV 1.
So I gotta ask this question: what you got on your playlist now? What are you listening to now, as far as music? What's your
I don't
go-to
listen.
song?
Music is a pacifier. I got more years behind me than I got in front of me. I ain't got time to be sidetracked.
Facts. Facts. I can dig that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely can dig that, brother. Um, you ever thought about getting into the entertainment as far as acting or anything, or you just kind of like, nah, I'm not dealing with none of that?
Man, I act every day. I just ain't getting paid, man. What the fuck you talking about?
Facts.
I'm a star in the ghetto, bro.
Dig it. I see you be going live, and it'd be something simple. It'd be showing kids getting ice cream or just the neighborhood having a good time, man. Like Black Love. I'll be looking. I'm
Man,
like, okay,
we still got black children, man. I got to show them in Compton. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the simple things with me, you know?
definitely, definitely, my brother, man. I appreciate you taking your time. I really do, man. I mean, the conversation today was great. It was very knowledgeable because, like I said, when I get on the air, I don't really like to have everything planned. I like to we just sitting talking, having a good time, and the conversing, and you never know where it leads to.
For sure, for sure. I appreciate you,
Anytime,
man. Okay, thank you, sir.
anytime, bro. You got my direct line. Hit me anytime. Let me know when you're in the area. I'll definitely pull up on you.
Okay, I'll be out there. Y'all got banks out there too.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Ayatollah Marv in the building.
That's
My
right.
brother. Y'all tune in. Y'all make sure y'all start following him. Y'all make sure y'all log in, invest, follow what the man told you. He dropped a lot of gems and nuggets tonight. I know it's gonna go over a lot of people's head. They're not gonna feel it. So keep watching, rewind it, watch it again, and learn something. Know what's going on. Be aware. Not 10 inches in front of your face, 10 steps ahead. And as always, I am your host, Rain Rockstar. But I can't leave off just yet. I got to give a love and shout out to the sponsors of today's episode. We got Carolina Beverage Company, black owned. Y'all get y'all some craft soda, real cane sugar, fresh squeezed fruit. Y'all interested in getting the bottle, holla at me or go check out carolinaMadeBev.biz. Get y'all a bottle. Always follow me on IG at Rain Rockstar. Same with Facebook, YouTube, Spotlight 4977, TikTok, Rain_4977. Y'all tune in. We got the Imperial brand jumping off. We got new adventures coming up. We got new ambassadorship going on. I'm an ambassador for Carolina Beverage, Bonner Liquor. I definitely get that, man. Anytime, hit me up. We'll make it happen, man. Y'all be safe out there in the world. Pay attention. It's a lot of things going on. And I'm out.